he takes certain roles at times where it's like sometimes Farah is the first man, and other times Farah is the one doling out passes. This season, Farah has been very aggressive again, and here already starting. Fruity, a bouncer shot just off of the crossbar. Farah couldn't convert, and Virtuoso came up with the save.
And Farah, he was the only player to score last week. He scored all 4 goals for Reciprocity. Chaussette and Fruity didn't even manage to get on the board, so they're going to need more backup. If Reciprocity's looking for the win, and what a save from Relating Wave.
Relating Wave, he's been the defensive, the defense for Endpoint. Chaussette coming down off the ceiling again, but Relating Wave spends the most time on this team in the defensive thirds. He has the highest boosts, like average boost total. He doesn't go fast a lot of the time. He only spends about 10% of his time going at supersonic speed. So you expect Relating Wave he's a patient player waiting for the play to develop in front of him. So no surprise to see him come down off the backboard for the save. But so far in the first minute, go ahead, James.
You'll want to see one of the things that he does so well is control the ball in the corners, and that's because he is such a patient player. And I thought Fruity was going to hit that double tap, and oh my, the pinch, full field, Chaussette.
Oh, it's still going though. That's off the crossbar. It's no good. Reciprocity, get out of danger. Here's Farah off the ceiling, gonna carry this the whole way. Saved, but Fruity roller. It's saved by Virtuoso, and Virtuoso gets punted out of the field.
This has been so back and forth. Full field counterattacks, but we're still scoreless. However, it has been exciting in this first 2 minutes.
Farah around the corner, but it's taken away by Virtuoso. Chaussette will boom it, or just take it back downfield. And now it has slowed down a little bit. Both teams just trying to get reloaded and get ready for the next attack, but good cutoffs in midfield by Nachto. Now Chaussette has a shot, and Virtuoso comes up with another save. Endpoint, they're feeling that Reciprocity offense that we saw last week against Barca, and Farah just gets back for the save off the shot from Virtuoso. Unbelievable Reciprocity.
That hit off his car, up off the post. That was as close as it gets. And we're still seeing a battle play out. Reciprocity, Endpoint, well matched so far.
Oh, and Virtuoso, another save. Shaw sets up off the back wall. He's got another, looking for Farah, and Virtuoso was ready. Another save for Endpoint. Virtuoso getting triplets there on that defensive effort. Now across the field, Shaw set, boomer, and the demo put Nachito back in position. He'll be there for the save. Here's Farah looking for Fruity, and it's denied. Endpoint's defense holding on by a thread, but that thread is strong and tough.
Yeah, you could tell that Farah wanted to get that ball over to Fruity, but the pass was just too far over. And I forget who was talking about it. Oh, I believe it was Turtle, who was talking about one of the things that makes an effective infield pass is getting it moving backwards away from the defense so that they just can't even have an opportunity to challenge it. So that pass, it was the right idea, just needed a little cleaner execution.
Speaking of cleaner execution, Chaussette just rolls that out. And I mean, that's kind of the name of the game for Rocket League, right? Yeah, if you can find space, create space. Those passing plays that are a little bit behind, they do open up space that previously might not have been there. We're a minute left in this game. 4 minutes have flown by. Farah looking for a shot, sets up for Fruity, and Virtuoso again takes the ball away and flips it out towards midfield. He's over Chaussette, but can't recover. He'll have to take this ball against the backboard. Endpoint hunting for a goal. Reciprocity have had plenty of offense, but have nothing to show for it. Here's Fruity. Looks like Farah chipped a defender away. Virtuoso pops this up high. Relating Wave will continue the push downfield for Endpoint. We are closing down into the end of regulation. Relating Wave kicks another ball away from Chaussette. Chaussette hasn't really been able to win a lot of these 50-50s, something that he's usually so strong at doing, but he's been shut down by Endpoint. There have been a lot of good opportunities that were just saved by Endpoint. Virtuoso, that's another clear. Relating Wave takes the ball away from Pharaoh, will give Nachito a chance. Time expires, the ball's still in the air. Fruity waiting, and Pharaoh, he's got the catch, but that will drop. OT, James. Woo.
And this has been neck and neck the entirety of this game. Goal line stops on both sides. Reciprocity, you kind of have to give them the edge with the chances that they've had. They've looked a little more threatening, but still, one good play from Endpoint could end game one with a win for them. And now is when Chaussette makes that impact play. Someone on Reciprocity needs to figure out what to do.
Virtuoso has 6 saves in game one. 3 for Relating Wave and 1 for Nachito. Excellent defense on the line for Endpoint. But they have to come away with a goal, because here comes Fruity. Chaussette on the opposite side. He's going to be forced to give Pharaoh away off of that clear. Now Virtuoso picking this up off the ground. On the 50 with Chaussette. Pharaoh able to win the challenge. Now Chaussette on the point for Reciprocity. Flips it up for Fruity. Fruity, he's over 1, but it's got to be Pharaoh, and he's so far back. Relating Wave takes the ball away. A potential breakaway, but Virtuoso just didn't have enough to deal with it. And Chaussette trying to fight for this ball. Reciprocity in danger, but the whole way back is Nachito, and now Virtuoso forced to fight from his own back wall.
And Pharaoh on that play, that was such a good stop. It was a threatening attack, and now we're seeing another one. This one, dangerous. Fruity doesn't get the greatest hit. Nachito denied. Scary moment for Reciprocity.
Yeah, but Pharaoh keeping it going in midfield for Reciprocity. There's been a lot of scary moments, but now the passing lanes, both teams are starting to read this. Pharaoh gets a clean win, and Fruity has a misread on where that bounce was headed. Probably thought it was more on the corner. There's a double commit from Relating Wave and Virtuoso. That's going to keep Reciprocity deep in Endpoint territory. A shot blocked by Virtuoso again. Relating Wave.
That play, Chaussette had some time, he had some space, and he opted to go for the shot right away. And we know Chaussette has what it takes to get a dribble goal. I'm surprised we didn't see him catch that and try to make a solo play. I wonder if he's losing his confidence, because he has had a rough few series so far this season.
And Chaussette, I mean, there's been times where we've seen that spark from him, right? Where we see him win a couple of 50s, but then he's just denied on the line. But here's Nachito. Oh, the shot's off the post. No good. Farah takes it away. And really, we've seen Farah and Fruity get more involved in this offense for Reciprocity. When it has been clicking, it's been less Chaussette. But without Chaussette on point, I mean, Reciprocity, they really struggle to maintain that superiority that we know that they can play at.
It's Chaussette. I hate to give Gibbs credit, but he really is an impact player. It's just there hasn't been an impact so far this season. Farah and Fruity, all of them, they still have what it takes, though, to win. You see it in these series, even against Barcelona. They could have won that series with just a few plays going their way. So despite the fact that Chaussette's not even playing at his potential, they're still contenders in every series they play. But you feel like if you're a Reciprocity fan, you're just waiting. You're waiting for Chaussette and really all of Reciprocity to just become unleashed.
I mean, it's looking like the series against Barca, where Devo had 10 saves in one of those games, and Virtuoso is putting up a similar defensive performance. He's got 7.
We're seeing the exact same thing. Yeah, we have, what is it, 14? We have 19 shots right now. 19 for Reciprocity and 13 saves for Endpoint.
We're almost at 9 minutes of gameplay in game number 1, and it has been probably more exciting than a lot of people might have expected. Relating Wave's attempted shot is blocked. Nachito on the retreat, but he will actually take the ball away. Farah will boom it back down over to Fruity. Relating Wave is up for it, and Virtuoso has lead on the ball off the ceiling, keeping it close. Nachito shot high just above the crossbar. Now Chaussette will carry it the other way. So Endpoint, very back and forth, but Reciprocity haven't had to make nearly as many defensive stops. There's only 11 shots in comparison from Reciprocity. But Reciprocity, it's been slowing down in this overtime. They've maintained control. Chaussette, he's knocked away, but Farah midfield wins that touch against Relating Wave. Chaussette on the opposite corner. It's slow. He can't get that next touch. He tried to read the touch on the Virtuoso, slowing the play down. Nachito keeps it going, but no midfield boost for Virtuoso will make it tough. He actually gets the catch. He wanted the bump on Fruity, no good. We're approaching a full game of Rocket League in this first overtime. Relating Wave keeps the ball back in the orange half.
This going into overtime, the shot differential was heavily in favor of Reciprocity, but now Endpoint is inching closer and closer, closing the divide, and had that bump come out on Fruity, that could have been the game.
Virtuoso's already up. He actually won the touch. Relating Wave will keep it going. I saw him immediately in the air for it. It was a pre-jump for Virtuoso, and now he's going to keep going against Fruity. It's a bounce in front of the box. Chaussets there to pick up the save. Endpoint continuing to rev it up. But Reciprocity are hanging on. Farah beating Virtuoso to the ball. Relating Wave makes the touch off the crossbar. Chausset just delays the push from Nachito. Off the corner, Fruity's up, and no one's willing to break. The Devil opens this up. Fruity, nothing. Virtuoso, his shot taken away. Still Nachito presses. Chausset takes it away. Up high, around the corner, Relating Wave. It's won a lot of 50s. Here's Virtuoso. Denied by Chausset off the backboard. Nachito. His challenge will force Endpoint back to their own third, but Endpoint are the ones who have lead on the ball. This is going to be a look for Virtuoso. His challenge back over to Farah. Looking for Fruity, and Fruity shots denied by Relating Wave again. Now on the turnaround, Nachito, nothing. Reciprocity can't score.
And you have to wonder if that's something wrong with the way Reciprocity is approaching net. Every shot getting saved. This is exactly like what we saw from the Barcelona series. Now, what, 14 saves?
It's ridiculous right now. Just nothing going in the net. Forget a brick wall. They're straight up titanium steel. And Chausset can't clear this out. They'll be forced to take that midfield boost and still play some more. Almost 7 minutes of overtime. Reciprocity owned regulation in the shot department. Overtime, it's been Endpoint, especially in these last 3 or so minutes. Relating Wave pinches it against the back wall, but or the side wall. He doesn't have it. He'll go for it again here off the back wall. Does he have the shot? Relating Wave scores! And Endpoint take down Reciprocity in the first game.
Miraculous double tap from Relating Wave. Had barely any boost, but enough to make that double tap. What a read. Chausset, he was playing defense all game long. He was sitting in back for Reciprocity. 5 saves for him. And Relating Wave had to do that to get it past him.
A 4-digit score for Virtuoso. He put up 1,000 points off of 8 saves. And James, you were absolutely right. Relating Wave, I mean, we talked about how he is that patient player. He'll sit back on defense, he'll wait for the play to develop, and then he'll take advantage and punish. And this time it was just, he had 2 saves where he had to find the read off the crossbar and get the save, or bang the ball off the post for a save. Either way, I mean, that was definitely shades of Barcelona. Not even shades of Barcelona. They overshadowed Barcelona on defense.
It looked like it was crazy. The number of saves that we saw come out from Endpoint, and Endpoint, they were in some precarious spots. There was a few situations where you really feel like Reciprocity could have scored. Namely, there was a counterattack by Farah and Fruity. Fruity has a pass infield and quite a bit of the net to shoot at, and he still got blocked. So Reciprocity, their shooting is still not what you'd expect from a team that performed so well last season, that had such high expectations. They're still just not making the plays in those moments. And Fruity even said that in his interview when he was talking. He said there was just some situations, some opportunities where they failed to make the play, and that cost them the game and ultimately cost them the series. But now off the kickoff, Fruity making a play.
Beautiful. And Fruity, he just loves scoring off the kickoff. We've seen, I think 3 out of the 5 goals he scored this season are on the kickoff, but that was a wonderful ground pitch. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not only the ground pinch, but you saw him fake the touch in the air. He boosted at the ball and then turned around to boost away from it. So he faked like he was going to touch it and then had that go right into the ground pinch. So a very savvy play from Fruity. And after going, what, over 12 minutes in game 1 without a goal, Reciprocity get one in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah, after like 23 shots on net. Their first in game 2 is a goal, but Endpoint already pressing. Nachito on his way out of the stadium will give Virtuoso time to pick up the midfield boost and have a ball. And he'll actually have time to get back to the touch. Fruity forced up to make the clear. But it's a very good clear for Reciprocity. Nachito losing this challenge to Farah. And we're back and forth in the first minute of gameplay. Fruity on the attempted carry. There was a demo by Farah on the back end. Chaussette. One carry against Virtuoso, another against Nachito. Already up as Fruity, but Relating Wave high on the backboard has the save. Virtuoso, that missed touch, he makes up for it. Forces Chaussette to go wide in midfield. Now Virtuoso. Round the corner, Relating Wave quickly behind him. Love the positioning from Endpoint on offense. Everyone able to quickly follow up some of these touches, but they also don't overcommit a lot of the times. Whoever's third man in those situations, always playing it a little more safe. They recognize the danger of that Reciprocity offense. How could you not with how many shots they've put on? Relating Wave has a shot taken away from Farah. Virtuoso another. This time it was Fruity on the defense. Or Chaussette actually getting credit for the save.
And I like what I saw from Farah right there. He saw that Endpoint was getting into position where they could get on this attack, and Farah jumped in to break up that play. Another good defensive stop from Fruity. Reciprocity, their defense as well has been quite solid for the most part. It took that spectacular double tap from Relating Wave to penetrate it. And now we're seeing Reciprocity get on the board early. You wonder if that's enough, especially with how low scoring it's been so far. And I know that it's only game 2, but it feels like it's game 4.
I mean, you make a good point. It did take Endpoint 12 minutes to score in game 1, so it might be enough, but that shot just wide from Virtuoso. Relating Wave keeps it going. Ended up running into Chaussette on the play, and Endpoint are able to work these corners on in Reciprocity territory pretty well, but then the box is just locked by Reciprocity. They've been trying to test that backboard, and it just has not been available. Farah, pass to Chaussette, and Chaussette gets bumped out of the play. What a play. Relating Wave has the flick, and Chaussette gets back for the save.
And that was a dangerous setup as well. The perfect infield pass setup, but it was broken up and perfectly timed as well.
Virtuoso on the carry in midfield. It'll be Nachito's ball. He's not going to win that challenge. Chaussette, quite the drill there towards the net. But again, Relating Wave on the save. Virtuoso, last back. He'll pick this up over Farah. He actually gets that off the ceiling. That'll kill that particular attack. Oh, Fruity. Couldn't handle the touch out. Up, Relating Wave wants a pass to Virtuoso, and he had him, but it was just a little far forward, and it was pretty hard. Or a hard pass, if you will. But that's a clean win. The net's open for Farah. He's just got to put it in, and Virtuoso comes back in the nick of time for the save, keeping the scoreline within 1.
Oh, it almost comes off the ceiling to get that shot. That was a spectacular save from Virtuoso. Farah did so well to jump in front of that play. And I thought he was going to get that goal, certainly. But now they keep it within 1. Still Endpoint in this game. Perhaps they can score one in this final minute and force overtime.
Nachito on the point, being harassed by Farah. Doing what he can. Fruity gets the touch before he gets eliminated. Relating Wave, touch off the back wall, and he gets back to his own touch. He's got Nachito, back to Virtuoso, where it gets low, on the air dribble, and it's off the crossbar! Nachito can't do it, but Reciprocity are in trouble. Chaussette being harassed on the line, off the back wall. Relating Wave has no more boost. Nachito too late to the ball, and a huge opportunity for Endpoint. Still, they're not done. Farah gets a solid clear out. Relating Wave wants to cut this off, but it's a win for Reciprocity. One more chance for Endpoint. Virtuoso off the ceiling. Got the dunk, but it doesn't matter. Reciprocity survive game 2.
And another 1-goal game. Defense has reigned supreme And that stop from Virtuoso, that kept Endpoint in the game. The play that Farah stepped in front of the pass, hits it down off the backboard. It looked like he had the perfect read, and Virtuoso got that save. That was something. It really was something else. But Endpoint, you know, their offense still has not. They haven't figured it out. Reciprocity's defense has been tough to crack. Both sides, I think, their offense, they have a lot to figure out.
I agree. I mean, Reciprocity, Endpoint did a better job of limiting them in the shot department. Only 4 shots on net, and they got 3 saves. The 4th shot, it was the very first shot of the game from Fruity, that ground pinch off the kickoff. And I mean, for Endpoint, I thought they did a lot of things right. It was just that the backboard defense from Reciprocity, that's where they were challenged the most, and that's where Reciprocity were able to save everything. And it was very clean on defense from Reciprocity.
On both sides, really, the defense. This is a defensive series that we're seeing shape up, and maybe this is going to start being a hallmark of Reciprocity games. But Endpoint, they've always had excellent rotations. They've always been able to slot into each other's positions quite well, which makes them tough to score on. And Reciprocity, on the other hand, you have Chaussette sitting in the back, who's so mechanical, it's tough to get anything by him. And the only goal that we saw happened in the first few seconds. It was the single play by Fruity, where he goes for that air fake and then ground pinches it in. That was the difference maker. Happened just a few seconds in. And you wonder what it's going to take for either one of these teams to figure out the other, because the defense to this point seems not even, it seems like you just can't do anything to get by.
No, I agree. I think for Endpoint, what worked for them in creating space to get the few opportunities that they did was physical play, the bumps and demos, and Reciprocity have been answering that in kind. And so to me, it comes down to demos between these two teams. Who plays more physical, because that physical play will give you the space that does not exist in this series right now on each team's back walls. I feel like that one demo will be the difference, or maybe Reciprocity, Fruity. I need to confirm this, but I'm pretty sure Fruity scored 5 goals this season, and I'm pretty sure 3 of them have been kickoff goals. So, you know, if they could get Fruity working in on the kickoff, yeah.
He's just a specialist, Jorby. He's a specialist.
But we will be getting the next game underway. I'm really impressed by Endpoint, and honestly, I came out last week feeling better about Endpoint than I did before, and I was like, you know, this team is really starting to figure it out. They're really starting. I felt they played too passively before, but Virtuoso in particular has really been speeding it up, and is, in my opinion, a great compliment to Relating Wave, who plays a more patient game. Virtuoso sits at the top of the league in time at 0 boost, and top of the league as the lowest average, or in terms of his boost total. So, you know, Virtuoso, he's always trying to play quick, that fast game, and we saw that from him several times in this series. So I'm excited to see Endpoint, how they respond here. Nachito, he has been making some solid touches. He's been a little quiet in terms of, you know, the flashiness or finding really good passes, but he's had a couple of nice stops in midfield. And Reciprocity, Chaussette, I felt, you know, someone we've been picking on a lot. He started seeing the space more. His field awareness became a little bit better, and he had some better carries.
Certainly, but to me, it's still, Jorby, it's still just a matter of the shooting opportunities that Reciprocity are getting. They need to start putting them away. It cost them game 1, and it really is just something else.
And Reciprocity, this team last season, you know, they looked so good, and it was even in games where Chaussette wasn't exactly clicking. And this season, it's been a fight. Every single team that they play is it's a grind fest. It's ugly. Well, not ugly, but it's just tough.
It's scrappy.
to get through it all. Scrappy. Yeah, that's much better. I like that.
And now is when they really need to step up, because if they let Endpoint get out to a lead here, I think that's going to be too much momentum. Reciprocity cannot afford to lose this. That one off the post and out. They catch a break. If that goes in, with what we've seen, that would have been enough to get the win.
It certainly would have been tough, and it bounced off the inside of the post. It was a Wonderful pass to Nachito. And Nachito, credit to him, he had to avoid the defender. He found the far post. But man, it's a good way to start if you're Endpoint. You can't let that trip you up. To start game 3, this is for series advantage. And Fruity picking this up for Reciprocity. Virtuoso takes that ball away. Virtuoso got the demo, but a double commit will open the gates for Chaussette. Reciprocity, the first goal.
Farah goes for a strong hit, and you see that actually almost snuck its way through both defenders. Somehow it stayed on the goal line, and it was an easy cleanup goal for Chaussette, but kudos to Farah for putting that shot on with such power that it broke the defense.
And now a similar situation that Endpoint were in game 2, giving up an early goal. It was all they gave up last game, but they weren't able to score. No Reciprocity. Chaussette on the carry. The ball got a little too far away from him. Relating Wave wins the challenge. And Relating Wave, I feel like he's been winning about 90% of his 50-50s in this series. Every time his approach to the ball is so good. His positioning is always solid. And he's always going to not lose, and he ends up winning big time on the 50s. You always hear like play to not lose the challenge, but that was just, oh, Fruity will put that in. It was not a good touch from Relating Wave.
And you see it, I mean, that's about as bad as it can get. He wanted to hit that upfield and far. Miss hits it, goes right into the middle. But this is what I was talking about for Reciprocity, is that if they want to get these wins, they need to start putting opportunities just like that in the net. And they did that. Fruity found his mark, well placed, and now they're up by 2 in a series in which goals have been at a premium. So Reciprocity cruising in game 3. We'll see if they can keep it up.
Now Fruity, long touch, only for Relating Wave. It's going forward towards the net for Nachito. Virtuoso trying to harass the net. Nachito again, just play it out to the opposite corner. Virtuoso able to get back to Farah on the challenge. Relating Wave giving way for Nachito. Some space back to Virtuoso. It's a high ball though. Virtuoso had to speed his way to that ball. And the challenge will be Reciprocity's. Fruity back on point. Off the ceiling. Fruity has the read. Fruity! Oh, it's off the post and in! What a shot!
Fruity is stepping up in game 3. He drives underneath the ball. He knows Virtuoso wants to bump him. And Fruity going with the solo play. And you love to see that, driving around the ball to hit it straight up. Turns past Virtuoso. Everything about that play was beautiful.
Oh, does he get another? Oh, no, he does not. On the back flip, no good. But Reciprocity, the outpouring of offense, Relating Wave forced to make another save.
And that was a scoring chance yet again, and you expect Chaussette to put those in. If he puts that top shelf, he's beating the defender, but he put it right at the final defender, and it was a save. Chaussette, even though Reciprocity is winning this game and they're up by 3, you still want to see Chaussette putting in opportunities like that.
Virtuoso is shot. That was a wonderful opportunity from him, but it was blocked by Chaussette. Relating Wave off the challenge from Nachito. It'll be knocked away, and Farah headed back to the blue half. Endpoint, the offensive struggles do continue. They have good carries down the field, but they can only get one chance before the ball is headed back the other way. Virtuoso over to Relating Wave, but it's cut off and knocked downfield by Chaussette. Relating Wave, a nice shot, but it's saved by Chaussette. That was the chance for Endpoint. Virtuoso harassing Fruity in net, but Farah up high on the backboard has his back. Relating Wave tees it up, and it's going to be Nachito, but Endpoint, they're struggling to get quality shot opportunities on net at all. That last one from Relating Wave was really the highest quality shot that they had. And with less than a minute left, I feel like they're already looking towards game 4, because even when you do get in front of the box, Chaussette 4 saves, and Chaussette a goal to cap that off. and we got a 4-0 stomp in game 3.
And Reciprocity is really starting to hit their stride. Chaussette waiting until the last possible second to use his flip. And now Chaussette getting 2 goals. Fruity also with a pair. Fruity has been amazing this game as well. Reciprocity, you feel like they're starting to hit their stride and starting to pull away from this Endpoint. The defense that we saw in the first 2 games, not holding up now.
And Endpoint, you felt like this was bound to happen with even in the first game where you had Virtuoso picking up 8 saves, Relating Wave picking up 5. It was that concern we had about how they're performing on the orange half of the pitch. It wasn't until the end of a long overtime that they finally got together some consistent pressure. And they get a few shots, but then Virtuoso is forced to get back and make a save, and that ball will die, and Reciprocity, 1 more to go to take down Endpoint.
And they looked very comfortable in this game as well, really in the driver's seat the whole time, shutting down the chances from Endpoint. The plays from Fruity, I thought, set the tone of this game. Fruity came out swinging, getting some impact goals. We talk about impact players. Fruity was the guy. And then this shot from Chaussette, it was late in the game. That put it out of reach. That is the nail in the coffin, so to speak. But Reciprocity, it feels like they're finally figuring it out. They're taking it past Endpoint, at least in game 3. Very one-sided.
And it's been Fruity. You said it, James. I mean, usually we're used to Chaussette hitting these kind of shots, but Fruity helps get the separation, and Fruity usually gets involved in other ways, right? We know Fruity loves to be that enforcer. He loves going for those bumps and demos on the defensive line and trying to open up space for his team. But you know, this time he's finding really solid opportunities to score, and it's a pleasure to watch, because I feel like Fruity in previous seasons he struggled to really find a consistent place where he kind of belongs on the pitch, but I think he's really finding a solid flow on Reciprocity this season.
Well, this season, I think it's been a bit of a rough season so far for Reciprocity, but at least in this series, Fruity certainly has found his way. And I think in the last game especially, that play where he was a solo play and he drove up the wall, passed it to himself and went for the ceiling shot was miraculous. And now Virtuoso, Farah was so close. If he gets ahead of that, he goes and punches that in. And already Reciprocity is knocking at the door.
Yeah, here's Chaussette. He gets bumped by Virtuoso. There's been a couple of those as well from Endpoint. They have great ideas. The way they see the pitch is so good, but it's just that offense that's lacking. Like this team, there's a lot to like about Endpoint. These 3 players. We'll see if they can force a game 5. Solid touch from Fruity in the back corner. Virtuoso up high against Farah. Farah wins the 50 cleanly. And he'll steal the boost on his way back down from space. That shot turned away by Nachito. Catch from Chaussette over Nachito. He's got Virtuoso to beat, but he got chipped as well. Virtuoso trying to find Relating Wave. No shot will come as Nachito takes it back down the pitch. Chaussette, he's out of the play. Virtuoso trying to move around quickly. He gets over one, but Farah got back set on the line in time for Reciprocity. Nachito trying to press. Chaussette, another clear.
Farah has been doing such a good job, both on offense and defense, of getting to the ball first and getting some crucial touches. Even there, the pass across was quite good, but Farah was just too speedy and prevented that scoring chance from happening for Endpoint. And the captain really playing a great support game, even in game 3. See if he can keep it up.
Right now, Endpoint, they're finding a lot of success in midfield, but Fruity will kick this all the way down back to their own half. Chaussette looking for something on the corner. He'll find Farah on the rebound. Virtuoso trying to keep it close. He wins 150. Can't find the ball. Relating Wave right behind him, looking for Virtuoso. Against the corner, Relating Wave and Virtuoso getting a little tied up, but Virtuoso is working with minimal boost. Dangerous situation for Chaussette, but he gets back to it. A win, huge for Relating Wave. They need a shot. There it is. Endpoint on the board and with the lead in game 4.
Chaussette tried to get the clear, and we saw a double commit and a side flip from Chaussette. If Chaussette doesn't side flip, he could probably double pop, get up to the ball, tap it out of harm's way. But that mechanical mistake from Chaussette gives the goal essentially to Endpoint. But I mean, it wasn't really all his fault. We saw the double commit happen as well. So Chaussette was left high and dry, but still an execution mistake from Chaussette.
Yeah, and Chaussette in previous ones, even in tenuous situations, he was very patient and was able to clear the ball out. So Reciprocity will likely clean this up, but Endpoint still on offense, up high. Virtuoso almost has the shot, but no good. It's off the crossbar, but I love the attempt from Virtuoso. Still Endpoint. I don't really feel like they've given midfield up at all, James. There's maybe been a couple of transition opportunities, but look at this. Nachito muscles it up and Relating Wave finishes. Endpoint a 2-goal lead.
And I love this play from Nachito. He sees Farah, knows he just has to kill the ball. If he kills the ball, there's a high chance that one of his teammates is going to be first to it, or at least be able to get a challenge that might blast into the net. Relating Wave zooms into the play and answers the call.
Oh my gosh, Virtuoso, I thought he did not have that. I thought he was going to own goal. Fruity will put it in anyway. Reciprocity fire right back.
And they're right back into the game. Farah, the slow control, and that pop out was beautiful. And Fruity, I have been really enjoying his ability to finish as of late. Earlier in the series, we saw some struggles out of Reciprocity, but since game 3, Fruity has been putting them away. So they will need Fruity to continue to do that if Reciprocity wants to get the win in this series.
Chaussette, there's nothing there for Fruity. Virtuoso pressing Reciprocity back down in the orange half. Now Nachito up for Virtuoso. Chaussette, he got tipped a little bit, but the pass is still good. He lands in front. Chaussette keeps it going, but it's not going to be anything for Reciprocity as Nachito gets a massive clear down to Virtuoso. And a good attempted carry as well. But here comes Chaussette on the transition. Chaussette, does he have it? No! But Fruity finishes, score and tie for Reciprocity.
You always hold your breath when Chaussette's up in the air like this. It hits off the crossbar. It forced Relating Wave to jump. And there was also a small nudge from Chaussette on Relating Wave as soon as he landed. That gave Fruity the window. And of course, with the way Fruity's been playing in these last few games, he is going to hit that mark. He does it. And Reciprocity, they tie it up in the final moments.
Farah trying to carry it downfield, but Reciprocity, quick goals. Chaussette wins that touch. Now Endpoint in a little bit of trouble. Relating Wave has the clear. Virtuoso, last man back. Catches this out. Fruity's there. Nachito on the opposite side will throw the ball out downfield. Chaussette up in front. Yeah, easy back pass to Farah. But we are close to the end of regulation. Nachito, his shot blocked by Chaussette. Relating Wave forced to the opposite side. Demo in front from Nachito, but Fruity has the space. Fruity wants one more chance at the net. Off the ceiling, we've seen it before. Puts the pass out to Farah, and it's no good, but here comes Chaussette, and he gets bumped by Virtuoso, saving Endpoint series.
Fruity did so well to get that ball out to Farah. I wish that I could have seen from Farah's angle if that was scoreable, because it certainly seemed like it. A dunk, and that's going to go the distance. No one can get to it. And Reciprocity can breathe a sigh of relief.
Endpoint sent the house. Relating Wave, the third man, he saw red. He saw blood. He saw an open net, and he went for it, and he paid dearly. Endpoint, a devastating loss. And Reciprocity, wow, what a series. It started out with a 12-minute game. And after that, it was just a back and forth slaughterhouse between these teams. Reciprocity, they had that outpouring of offense. Endpoint came right back at them with that 2-goal lead, but then Reciprocity coming back in that last minute with those 2 huge goals. That series was way more entertaining than I expected coming in.
Well, I mean, I was expecting it to be a lot closer than many would have, potentially, just looking at Endpoint's schedules so far. They've had to play all the top teams essentially first, and the only top team they didn't play, they got the win. And judging by how they played in the rival series, these guys, they're gamers. They know how to play Rocket League. They're very talented. They took it to Reciprocity. They almost won that game. And if it goes to game 5, who knows what happens? But you've got to give Fruity the trophy in this game. Give him the MVP award. He was hitting crucial shots for Reciprocity, and really, in my opinion, was the reason that they got the win.
Well, plenty more Rocket League coming up. Next up, we have TSM versus Mouse. Can Mouse bounce back after losing last week and continue to figure out this roster and this team? We'll find out after the break.